out of the two presented, I think I can't really use age up. Like, what am I gonna? I'm old enough to do everything I need one to do right now.
But you want to choose to be sick?
It's more useful to be sick, I think, than
Why?
it is to be older. Because, like, let's say I want to get someone else sick. I don't know what for. I can do it.
That is horrible.
Hey, I'm thinking. I'm thinking of ways. Okay, what do you? So you're picking age up even if you can't use it?
I would use age up and not use it. Or you know what? I have the best answer.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to 1000 Crazy Questions, the podcast. I'm your currently sane host, Houston Pierce. This is a podcast where I have at least one guest a week and ask them a series of crazy would you rather questions. We can decide keep our guests for topics and questions that maybe should have been explored. I take my questions from the listener from a list of 1000 questions. You can submit question suggestions at me at 1kcrazyquestions@gmail.com or at 1000 Crazy Question on Instagram. That's 1000 on Instagram. Please rate and follow 1000 Crazy Questions on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Podguru, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts from. And yeah, that's the intro. Let's get into the actual episode this week. He is an entertainment and lifestyle expert. You may know him from his work on The Today Show, The Talk, and The Wendy Williams Show. It is the formidable Josh Mcbride. Josh, if you want to introduce yourself to listeners a little bit and just tell people where you're coming from, what you do, fun and professionally.
Houston, you did it so well. I don't know if I need to do it now, but I guess I will. My name is Josh Mcbride. Like you mentioned, I'm an entertainment and lifestyle expert, TV host. I've been in the game for over a decade, contributing to some of the most well-known shows. You said it there. Today's Show, Wendy Williams, I had a long run on. Obviously, it's not on any longer. Sherry Shepherd Show, Good Morning America. I also am a development producer, and I just launched my own course for small businesses to help them get on television.
That's so awesome. Yeah, no, I can't imagine this honestly, I can't imagine the wealth of knowledge you have on just like the entertainment industry. Do people how often do you get asked, how do I do it? Like how often do people ask you, hey, how do you do it? How do you do it?
I get the more common question is like, how did you get your start? Right. Like,
Hmm.
because people think you fall out of the sky and you end up on E! News. Like, that's not realistic. Right. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen. Or maybe it has happened and it's very rare. Um, I get a lot of questions though about how do you do it? How do I make it in it? Right. And I'm still at a point where I'm like, well, I'm still trying to make it. So like to sit here and say, first of all, it's an honor to be able to be asked that question, number one. But number two is I guess figuring out what your shtick is and what makes you special and what makes you different from everybody else that's already out there. We know that there's a ton of people, all industries are competitive, but especially the ones on camera and actors and models and all those people will tell you the same thing. And being an on-camera personality is interesting because you're fighting an uphill battle also against the same people that want to do, of course, that same thing. And it's really those gatekeepers that are holding you to say, you're good for this role, you're not good for this role. We want you on our show. We will take a pass this time. So the short, long version of that is find out who you are, and that's sort of what I did for a really long time, and then also kind of develop other ideas of how you can earn income beyond just like that one main focus. For me, it was developing a course. So I worked with worked with a lot of small businesses to figure out how to get them more eyeballs on their business, right? Like we all have TikTok, we all have Instagram, we have social media, right? We can't necessarily afford commercials. We can't necessarily afford billboards on I-95 and the highway. But what we can probably afford is, under $1,000 TV placement to get you on a local TV show promoting your local business. Now, whether you're a baker, whether you're a car salesperson, whether you're a dentist that has a teeth whitening sale, whether you are a local business, a pizza shop in town, there are ways to be able to get yourself on TV. And I realized that I had all this knowledge. And it's funny, Houston, and again, this is the short, long answer, is you don't know what you know. It's so funny. Like, is that the saying? It's like, you don't know, because like, I didn't know that I had all this information until someone asked and was like, how would I do this? And I was like, oh, that's easy. Here's 15 steps and go to, and I was like, wait a second. And he said, Josh, like you have all this information. Why don't you put it down somewhere? And then you think about, they first talk about when you really want to make money. It's like first putting it into a course, and that's what I've been doing. And now I'm exploring like book options, right? Like maybe writing a book about how to level up your small business. So the short long answer is like find out who you are, find out your niche, find out how you can make money from it, and how you're different, and really go from there.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, it's like I don't want to say that's very simple because but it's stuff that people have been told and like I know people have been told they know more or less, but it's it rings different when you're trying to pursue it and when you're talking to someone who like yeah, going through slash went through. So it's all something it's all like hearing it it's simple, but very, very, very true and very potent. Yeah, and to a very micro version of what you said, I felt that happen to me, and like I said, micro version of what you're saying. But people have asked me like, "Oh, you started a podcast. How do you do that?" And to me, that's every you can throw a rock down the street and someone has a podcast, but like someone sincerely asked me like how do you start it, and I when I started listing out the steps, they're like, can you write that down somewhere or something? Like, yeah, like, or how'd you get that part? Well, you have to do this first before you do that part. Not realizing that I was explaining a whole more than let's see what seemed simple to me turned out to be a whole bunch of steps to someone else. But I don't know. Like, it's a very small version. I'm still growing as a podcast, but yeah, no, I understand. Like, it's and not to your extent, but yeah,
But the same thing
yeah.
goes for you, right? Like I couldn't tell you how I had a podcast years ago. Couldn't tell you how to do one now. Have no idea. So that's why I'm guesting on yours.
And you get to skip on the editing. That's something that,
Yeah.
yeah. Until I get an editor, which I have a couple people in mind, but until I fully get an editor down, man, it's ah. All right. Well, we'll jump into the episode, and ladies and gentlemen, here are the rules of the game. There are two rules to this game/conversation. Rule number one, you must always answer the question no matter what. If you have no preference towards one or the other, you say the phrase flip a coin, meaning that each choice is 50-50 to you and that one is neither worse or better than the other. But that rarely happens, so it may not get used. Rule number two, whoever asks the question doesn't have to answer it if they choose not to. These rules exist because as the questions become harder to answer, the rules become harder to follow. This week, we have a Blue Pen episode, so the questions asked and the topics discussed should be family friendly. If you want to check out the red version of this podcast, where the questions get a bit more raunchy, they're just as insightful, just as ridiculous. I encourage you to go seek those out if you want to do that. Otherwise, stay right here where everyone can listen. Josh, we just want to remind you if you have any different questions for me or any various questions I've asked you, this is a conversational podcast. You're never interrupting. Quick point for me disclaimer to the listeners, everything is hypothetical. If you are offended by this episode, at me or don't at me. I probably won't answer. Maybe I will, probably not, but you're entitled to do it and I encourage it. Lastly, before we begin, Josh, is there anything you'd like to ask or declare? Are there any inherent mental biases you know you may have?
Not at the moment, no.
All right, cool. Here we go. First question, would you rather go scuba diving or go skydiving? And let's say both are just free. You just get handed a ticket.
Scuba diving. I don't like heights. I'm not a no. But I'm gonna be difficult with this. Is it
Okay.
scuba diving in the daytime?
I was imagining daytime, but you could
Me
do it at
too.
night. You can do it
No, I want to do it in the daytime.
all right. Hmm. All right, yeah. Is it because you're more interested in like marine life or just because of the fear of heights that you're going that way?
I've snorkeled before. I've never scuba dived before, but I don't like heights. I feel like I would shit my pants on the way down if I jumped out of a plane, and I just can't imagine that happening. So scuba diving sounds more interesting, but then like we're getting into all like medical things. Like I was a really great swimmer growing up, but I like popped my ear a number of times swimming. So like
Ugh.
like yeah, it was horrible. Scuba diving, done. Sure.
Got it. I I want to ask questions about the ear, but can you without too much gruesome detail explain how does that common? Do people just like is it like you
Yeah, people do.
swallowed?
Yeah, people pop. I always had ear problems as a kid, like as a baby and a kid. We had a pool in the backyard growing up, and I remember one time I had friends over, And you throw rings at the bottom of the pool and you go get them, and it's a game. I don't understand the game, but it's a game as you're a kid. And I remember swimming down into like the really deep part of our pool, and I remember my ear popping and coming back up and there being like kind of a pain, but like no blood or anything like that. So since then it hasn't been right, and then it popped again years ago, and it's just
Oh
that
man,
one. Yeah, it was a
I'm,
weird
I'm
experience.
sorry.
No, they're great
Yeah.
now. Like they're great.
Okay. Okay.
But like,
Okay.
still scuba diving because I just don't like heights.
Got it. It's surprising considering the childhood trauma, but got
Totally.
it.
Totally.
Yeah. Personally, I think I go skydiving. That just because it's on the bucket list, and
Okay.
yeah,
Have you already
and
gone scuba diving?
no, I am a a bad swimmer, so I
Last
guess
summer.
yeah, I can swim enough to save my life, like in a pool. But if you threw me in the ocean, for example, I might as well be dead. I think because like the waves, like
Hmm.
I've struggled in. I can't believe I'm admitting this, but I struggle in wave pools. Like when they get too much, like I can't do it, and I have to run back to the shallows with all the little kids. It does not work out for me. So
Got it.
yeah, I'd rather just fall. And by the way, I don't like heights. I'm not really a heights person. I'm actually
No.
kind of scared of them. But when you're falling, like, and if there's a parachute and there's nothing you can do, it's kind of like facing a fear. So I want to do it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, but what if
curious.
the parachute doesn't work?
Then I'm dead. But then, I have some time to pray before I die, I guess.
Okay.
I'll see. Well, then I know it's over. But scuba diving is if I drown, I feel like drowning is scarier to me than hitting the ground. Like that seems
Fair.
slower. I'm struggling more. Yeah.
It's got morbid really quickly. Anyways.
Sorry. Yeah. Next, that was the opening question, guys. Next question: would you rather get to host SNL, Saturday Night Live, or meet the sitting POTUS? So in this case, in this year, dating this episode, Biden.
That's a really good. I would love both of those things.
Yeah, they're both
But
honors. That's for sure.
I think what would propel me more would be hosting Saturday Night Live. I think it'd also be more fun. I
Yeah.
assume this meeting with Joe Biden would be a handful of minutes, and how much impact can I have in a couple minutes versus like on Saturday Night Live, it's an hour and change, right? Like different skits, people are able
Mhm.
to see you. It's a lot of eyeballs. I think being a television host now, that can be more impactful for me than necessarily sitting down with the president.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you?
Oh, I pick SNL.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, and I'm not even I'm not really too much of the in front of camera person. I've done a bit of in front of camera, but SNL is like that's a magnifying glass to me. That's a lot of camera. So,
Yeah.
um, I have a weird. I would like to, but I don't think I'm ready for that. But in terms of being the president, there's not much, like you said. I don't think there's not much I can do. I don't have those political ambitions
Yep.
at least not yet, I guess. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that in that sort of meeting, it's, SNL, you can have an actual impact, I think, whether it be funny or entertainment or followers or whatever. And I think that would be more of an impact, I think.
Yeah. I'm just curious here though. If you did host SNL, would you write your own intro, like your own monologue, or would you kind
No,
of rely on the writers? No?
no, I definitely rely on the right. Would you write
Okay.
yours?
I would try. I would try
Yeah, but
to.
like they're like, and I'm not saying you're not, but like they're professionally funny.
That's
Like I think we
true.
all are like we're funny, and like I think I'm a funny person too, but like in that context, maybe not.
That's true.
Like they have the research on like what would work.
True, but I mean, at least in recent years, I pay attention to this. Like I'll watch the host come out and you can tell when is that comedian or whatever who wrote the intro, the monologue, or the writers. And like they'll get an actress out to do I don't know, who's someone who I don't know, they'll get oh, what's her face? Sydney Sweeney, for example. Like she'll go out there and you can tell it's SNL writers, like who wrote her monologue.
Hmm.
Not that it's a bad monologue. You could just maybe it's me, but I can tell. you did not write that, or that was really safe. Like that's just something that,
Yeah, okay, I
yeah,
changed my answer a little bit. If it was a
okay,
collaborative experience, and I think it sounds like it usually is,
hmm
um, I would do that. As a total side, this is actually just like really because we said SNL,
sure,
and this podcast is all about kind of having those side conversations after you answer the question.
shoot,
My
shoot,
favorite movie growing up was Superstar with Molly Shannon.
and Will Ferrell. That's a,
Yes. And it was
that's
like
a, yeah,
this day, it's like genuinely my favorite movie. And I loved Molly Shannon in that. Like beyond, I thought still laugh hysterically from that movie. So it's really interesting, like being in this career and fulfilling and kind of seeing weird dreams play out, but as in reality. So like I loved Superstar.
hmm
And this isn't even the first time this happened while I've been in this career, but like a few years ago, I don't know why I wasn't, but I followed Molly Shannon on Instagram and she followed me back and I was like, "What? We've never met. I don't know her." And I said something that I wrote in her DMs and I was like, "Oh my God, like this is huge." Like totally fanboying out. And she wrote back to me something like, "As my dad would say, Josh, you just have it." Like as in she watched, my videos, my hosting and so fast forward like maybe a year or two down the road she wrote a book about like her life and I was like I want to go see her do this presentation with Andy Cohen about it.
yeah,
And Molly had written me and I said I'm coming and she was like okay stay after and I was like okay. And she had this whole like kind of like fan meet and greet and when she saw me she screamed and it was like a full circle moment for me of like that's my ultimate best movie favorite movie ever. And so to be able to like have that full circle moment, and I had it once before about 10 years ago with someone else, another actress, but this was like very fulfilling.
man, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it was
Yeah,
like a weird sort of, I've had it happen a few times and it's been like very okay. Do you want the other times now that we're here?
sure, sure. Hey, bring it on. Yeah, I'm just, it's like what you're saying is, what's it called when someone like says a dream for you and you're living through the other person's dream slash experience.
Yeah.
That's something that everyone wants to do. That's yeah. What are the other two moments?
Yeah, so that's like two or three even. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know how old you are, and you don't have to tell me, but I was obsessed with Full House as a kid. My brother and I watched every episode.
Okay, I'm aware.
Every
Didn't
episode.
watch. Sorry.
Say it again.
Yeah, very aware of Full House. A little bit before me, and I could have
Okay.
watched it, and I didn't. So sorry.
But like
Yeah.
very knew every episode, almost every line to every episode, watched every day. My father would come in and like look at my brother and I go again. And whatever. Years later, I was working at a show called OK TV, which was OK Magazine's television show. And on the calendar that day was a Candace Cameron Bure interview. And I had asked the main host, I wasn't on that shoot, but I'd asked the main host, can I cover it? Fast forward 10 years to make a long story short again. She's one of my like closest friends who and for those who don't know, she played DJ Tanner. It means
So I
nothing to you
mean,
because you have
I
no idea who this is.
I knew the name DJ Tanner. I didn't
Got it.
put the name, but actually, here, let me put face to name. Unfortunately,
Just
I
even
know,
type it, you'll see a
I know,
DJ
I
Tanner.
know, I know Stamos. I know the twins. I know Saget, and I know the name DJ. Okay. Yes. Okay. Do. All right. There it is. Got it. Got
Great.
it. All right. Cool. Yeah.
And
Connects.
so
Okay.
her
Cool.
and now Jodie Sweetin, the middle daughter on that show, who played Stephanie Tanner, are very, very close friends. So it's just like full circle moments. So it's like if you ever dream about having those moments as a kid, they really can come true as an adult.
That's cool. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know what that moment would be like for me. I mean,
Like,
not that
who
I
was
don't.
your ultimate what was your ultimate favorite movie of all time?
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, I have a lot of movies I love, but there's a couple
Name one.
people. Terminator or Terminator 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
Arnold. I,
I get
I
it.
hear I hear Arnold is a great guy. Like actually to me in life too. Yeah, and
Yep.
I would
We were
love
big
to.
Terminator people. Terminator 2 people, not one.
Yeah, well, hey, well, I like one a lot though. I mean, if
Hmm.
what you what was with the what was
I
that?
love Terminator. Terminator 2 is great.
Terminator 2 is better. for sure.
Yes.
But I like one, and I don't know, getting to meet Arnold would be awesome, and yeah. This one's a bit weird, but do you know Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob? Uh,
I've seen who it is on TikTok. That's big
Okay.
for you. He's big for
Uh,
you.
yeah, he's big for me. He's well, SpongeBob was big for me when I was a kid, and I do mean big for me because he's SpongeBob. But as an adult, as I got older, found out Tom Kenny is the voice of like all these different characters. He's done more than
Yeah.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob's his biggest, but when you talk about voice actors, he's like the Mel Blanc of this generation,
Yeah.
and the guy. I mean, you hear enough of his voice, you kind of can tell. But he's done so many characters, and he's such a great guy. I like voice actors, and it's something I
Yeah.
plan very soon to get into. So it's yeah, that'd be an honor too. But yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, it'd be cool. That was a good rabbit hole.
For sure.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that.
Thank you for sharing that story, by the way. Those stories, by the way.
Yeah, they're
So
interesting.
be able to age yourself up and only up, or be able to make yourself as sick as you want, anytime you want.
Well, neither. I don't want to age myself or make myself sick.
Which one do you
Why would
want?
I want to make myself sick?
Here's a power. Here, which one do you want? Here.
Age
Pick.
myself up.
You
If
don't
I
have to
had to.
use it. You don't have to use it. You don't have to use either, really.
Oh, that's true. Um, I guess maybe age myself up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, what's the point of it? Why would I want to be sick in general?
Maybe I say this because I'm still have like a it's a nice job, but it's 9 to 5 ish. So I don't know. Being sick gives you a good out, gives you a good excuse, gives you a
Yeah, but
good.
it's
I'm
not like you're
sick.
taking a sick. Yeah, but it's. I think people misconstrue sick days for like how many people take sick days and are also just like not sick and they just want the day off. If you're taking a sick day under this question, you're actually sick. So like, what does that do for you?
You asked me to justify. I'm trying to give you a
No,
justification.
your justification is terrible.
I'm
I would say
trying.
age myself, and I would have had it for I would have like maybe aged myself up a little bit when I was younger, of like, let me just get through this like challenging time, or like maybe I was going through a darker time, coming out of college and being like, I just want to be grown up and out of my house. Like maybe I would use it then. Now I wouldn't.
Okay.
So I would say
Uh,
that one. But I
uh,
think the sick one is I disagree with you, and I feel like you should really rethink that because
This is it's meant to be sucky, but let's say like you're getting this power like tomorrow, like either or you're getting them tomorrow. Like you can't, you're not a kid using this. Let's say like out of the two presented, I think I can't really use age up. Like what am I gonna? I'm old enough to do everything I need one to do right now.
but you want to choose to be sick?
It's more useful to be sick, I think, than
Why?
it is to be older. Because like let's say I want to get someone else sick, I don't know what for. I can do it.
That is horrible.
Hey, I'm thinking, I'm thinking of, I'm thinking of ways. Okay, what do you? So you're picking age up even if you can't use it?
I would use age up and not use it. I would use
Okay,
age up and not use it, but if it was for my whole life, I would have maybe aged out of like, or you know what? I have the best answer. Okay.
okay,
I would say age up. And in moments where things have been hard, or like when my grandfather died and I wanted to kind of get past it, or, God forbid somebody that I love passes, I would age myself up, or went through a bad breakup. I would age myself up to move past it so the time would be gone and I'd feel less emotional towards it. Oh, that was so good.
hmm.
But go ahead, be
No,
sick. No, no, no. Go ahead, be sick. Because age up doesn't mean like I want to go
yeah,
from 35 to 40. It means I could age myself by 3 weeks, right? If I want to, or like if I'm having a really challenging work stuff, I just want to age up. I want to get through it 4 weeks later, a month later, 6 months later.
I mean
Mm.
that's pretty smart. But okay, you're mixing up age up with like time jumping, because I'm thinking like you get physically and mature, like your maturity is what's
You didn't say
going.
age up by like increments of a year
It,
or 5 years.
no,
You just said age up.
I just
You're
say age
older
up.
today than you were yesterday,
Yeah,
aren't
but
you?
time is the same. You are aging up. Like you're just gonna wake up. I don't know if you want to age up maybe 3 weeks. You're 3 weeks older by your standards. I'm the same age, and if you want to age up by 50 years, then you're gonna look like how you are at 50, an old man sort of, and I'm gonna be my same age because you're personally aging up. Like you're just it's just you. Like the world isn't going by, it's just you aging up.
What? No. Um,
Oh
I
wow.
still stick with my answer
Okay. All right. All right.
because
I was trying to find a way to get sick in there because like I can use it.
no,
I can't think of any good
you can
things for aging up.
fake being sick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's so many times though where, especially as a kid, was like, man, I wish I was sick to get out of this. I mean, I rarely, this is just me, but I rarely lied about being sick because I, I don't know, like the thought never, the thought never occurred to me. I was, I guess, a bit of a good kid,
I
quotation
could see it.
marks.
I could see it.
Yeah, but yeah, I didn't do the sick thing. I like it felt weird to lie about it. So maybe subconsciously that's why that question is even there.
Got it.
But
Good
age
answers.
yourself is useless to me, unfortunately. I mean, it's like at this age, it's useless to me. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I would have said age up because going through hard times, I would have loved to pass the hard times. I
yeah.
think most
I
people
mean,
are going to agree with
I,
me.
I, I do like the. You're just you had a pretty good reason there. Okay,
Mm.
next question. Would you rather never use another social media app slash site ever again, or never watch another TV show or movie ever again?
I feel like I know what yours is going to be.
Okay.
I think mine would be. Uh, it's so interesting as like an entertainment and pop culture person that so much news gets released on social media anyways, and it's less about TV and film but more about like stars and what they're doing and kind of, that type of thing.
Hmm.
I love being connected to a community, and I think like in social media I think it can be challenging, of course. I also think as doing the profession that I do, I need to have some type of visibility. So I would have to say no if I had to in this one because I love both of those things. I would say I'd keep social media and get rid of TV and film. The
Yeah.
reason being is to stay connected within my community, to stay connected with the people that I love, and to be in touch, right, with a demographic of people that I really, want to see and hear from, and vice versa. Yours, can I guess what yours would be? I think yours is the opposite of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. And yeah, I'm not a social media person. If it weren't for my podcast, I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't care at all. But
Fair.
you have to kind of reach out and do these things, and it definitely has its benefits. I'm not the person who's like the grouch of, oh, social media is killing us. I mean, in some ways, I think it kind of hurts attention spans, and it has its bad points, and there's echo chambers and all these other things. But in general, yeah, I don't really. I'm definitely not as tied to it as I am movies and shows. But to your point, I figured not only is it important to have social media apps and websites that you're on, for the industry that you're in, like yeah, it's good for keeping in touch, and you have to stay in touch with like what's culturally going on, like the zeitgeist. So
Totally.
yeah, no, it makes
Totally.
sense. Like I got yours, and it makes sense. I'm on this side of the fence. You're on that one, and I understand. Would you rather have your own show that you can direct or even star in, or get your own big budget Hollywood movie made all about your life? And you can kind of star in this one too if you want, but I left that open.
I would say show. I would say show because I think there's an everlasting growth to people. A movie is so finite unless you get the budget for the next one and the next one. A show, you could have 17 seasons of growth and, visibility and people becoming fans and following the show. And being able to direct that and sort of be placed in it, I think has much more impact than a movie one time shot once, it's final. I also work in TV, so like it's I think that's an obvious choice on my end. So, are
Hmm.
you the opposite on that one?
I'm the opposite on that one, but I this one more than the other one. I'm more tempted because shows you can do a lot with. Like you can really develop, you can really flesh out a character with the show. You can get more of a. You've seen Breaking Bad, right? Yeah, like No, yes,
Yes.
okay. That was very unsure. No, not that I would have. jumped on you if you hadn't seen it. There's those people. But it's Walter White is very much not a hero. He's the person we're following. He's our protagonist, but you're willing to accept more of a character's flaws in a show than you are a
Hmm.
movie. You get to spend more time with him. There's more character development around for Walter, his wife, his kid, everything. In a movie, you kind of have to instantly connect with that person, or you're expected to connect a bit faster. Not that there's not pacing and movie tricks and writing techniques to get you to buy in faster, and it can't be as powerful but or potent, but a show you get to see the full flaws of a person and the full um what's the word heroics or good personality traits of a person, so they sink in better.
Hmm.
Yeah, so a show beats a movie on those moments. But if you pick a show, would you rather direct in it or would you rather be, the star of it?
Potentially
Like
both.
both, like a reality situation,
Maybe.
like where they follow you around the
Maybe.
camera and like Josh is having lunch now. Like
Yeah,
that.
maybe, but I mean, it's hard to direct in a reality show. There's not really there's a director, but that's for like camera angles and stuff like that. Less like a movie, right? Like directors really making all the shots and things like that. But yeah, maybe both. Maybe both. I've been doing some development now, so it's been really interesting, and I'm not included in a lot of the development I'm doing. So that's been pretty cool, and that's like a dream of mine to be an executive producer on a show
Nice, yeah.
that I'm in or not in. And a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now, I'm not in. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Would you go back in time to explore your childhood if you could get a show about yourself? Or would you just start at your current age? Or when things get interesting, I guess. I don't know.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think the show would necessarily be about me in that. uh, Maybe it would either be current or if it or not about me at all. I don't think I'd be like, let's explore childhood traumas. Like that's what my therapist is for.
You don't want to go back to the pool story with the ear thing and have
No, I'm
everyone.
okay.
Okay,
I'm okay
got
on
it.
that.
But yeah, for me, I picked the movie. I'm just more fascinated by them. I don't about being finite. I think cliffhangers are pretty nice. I mean, depending on how you like leave them,
Yeah,
and yeah,
sure.
yeah. Or I don't know. Have you seen the Weird Al Yankovic remake-ish movie? No, that's
No.
fine. Daniel Radcliffe. They start off pretty close to Weird Al's actual life in like maybe the first half of the movie, and then you slowly start to realize maybe some of this didn't happen, and then they start putting blatant facts that didn't happen. Like he came out with "Beat It," not Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson ripped it off of him, and like he dated
Oh my God.
like what he dated, like, was it Liza Minnelli or no, Madonna? He dated Madonna and got super into drugs, and then he went to Vietnam and shot a bunch of people. Like, it gets like, you start to go like, "Did that happen too? Okay.
Right.
Alright, now, yeah." And it is like a slow tank into what's going on, and then, he self-glorifies, and it's very jokingly. You can tell he's not serious, but he self-glorifies, and it's funny. Like, I wouldn't do that take of Weird Al Yankovic's thing, but I think in a movie, I can make more fun of myself and take more liberties and write an ending for myself,
Mm.
tangential to where I think my life is going to go or somewhere I think it could go. So I might take that liberty. And in a movie that's shorter, I can make a more epic show. Hat off to you. I think it's more has to be more grounded, has to have more meat behind it. And
Yeah, I'm still sticking with with I would still do maybe the reality show. I think that could be interesting. I think it's I live a life that's different than most people because of what I do, and that there's something that could be interesting. Maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, but maybe there's something interesting there too, right? Like my schedule is different than someone that goes into an office 9 to 5.
yeah, you seem like an interesting guy. I mean, I'm sure it shows easy. But maybe
Maybe,
not. I say that from a point of not too much reference, but yeah.
right? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Cool. All right. This one is we're back to a weird spot. Would you rather have it hurt when you take baths and showers? It hurts your skin, or you can only talk to someone if you're right up like in their face. You're no more than 4 inches away from their body before you can talk to that person.
That one, the second one.
Really?
Because like I want to be able to cleanse myself in a hygienic way often as I do. And 4 inches is like, I mean, I guess that's, I don't know.
That's too
Yeah,
much.
I don't want it
Shrink
to
them.
hurt when I take a shower or a bath. Like, no. And like, I feel like if I talk to any close friend of mine 4 inches away, like they'll probably be like weird at first, but like, it'll still be comfortable because it's me, you know?
Do you think do you think in your day-to-day work life that will fly? You know, if you go to someone on set with, "Oh, we need to turn the microphone up." You walk up to them, you get 4 inches away, turn the microphone up. You know, just sit super close, talk. Do you think that would work okay for
This is a
your
game of would you rather, so
Yes, it is.
I'm just playing the less of two options.
Mhm.
And this, I would like to be able to take, because like, what's the other option? Like, not taking a bath or not taking a shower and being in pain. Like, why would you want to be in pain for that? Like a bird bath where you take a washcloth and then wash yourself?
I'm thinking you can just make them as quick as possible. Like, they're painful, but you're not you can still take them. I don't know if you can bear pain. I don't know how good your pain tolerance is, but it's kind of like it's one of those things where you can, okay, it's shower time. And you run in, run out as fast as you can. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I still, I'm gonna, is that what your answer is?
I'm devil's advocating this.
You
I
have to
don't.
answer it, no?
I mean, I'll answer it. I'll answer it. I don't know. I don't know. This one's kind of this one's kind of tough, honestly. I think I pick the 4 inch one with you because it's a bit. I don't like pain, so I pick that one, and
I feel you.
people would know eventually. Oh, he has to get up close to people to talk to him. Yeah, no. Everything I said about the showers, I was just trying to find a way for, like, to make that work
Yeah, I
in a
don't think it works for
scenario.
me. It's not for me.
Yeah, yeah,
But good question.
yeah. It's a weird one. Would you rather have your voice sound like a bad phone connection or always have your arms fall off randomly? And this doesn't hurt. They're falling off and you got to put them back in.
Ugh, this is a hard one because I wonder if I did a different job, if I'd be okay with the voice one. But I do a job where I, command authority and viewers and consumers and where I have to go on TV and talk about things. And I'm sure people would not want to hear that. And I don't know if I'd be as successful if I had that kind of a voice. So initially I was thinking the voice one, but now I'm thinking my arms falling off.
Mm,
Um,
it's a nuisance.
it's a nuisance, but like it doesn't hurt or anything. And seems like they're still usable, like you can still do whatever you need to do with them. So that one. How about you?
Hmm. I think the phone connection is really funny. I mean, that's just naturally hilarious if you meet someone and they sound like they're talking out of a phone.
Mhm.
So I'm tempted for that one just for the sake of making people laugh. But the second one, well,
Yeah.
then again, if I'm doing something important like driving or cooking or working with any type of tool, oh, you know what? I think the phone connection's a bit safer. I think the
Maybe
phone
you're right.
I picked the phone. It's a bit safer, it's less problematic, and I don't wanna have to explain to everybody every single time when my arms are falling off and have to be, "Oh, you're all right." Like, it's and I'm like, I hold up a card that says, "It's okay. I'm not in pain." I don't and my hand with the card falls down, I had to pick that up with my feet, so, yeah. No, I picked the phone connection. I
Okay.
picked the phone connection.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
Alright, cool, yeah. The other way. This one's open-ended, and this is like near the last question, pretty much. Pick any TV show to live in. If you can pick any TV show.
Oh my gosh. Um,
Take your time. I know there's a lot, and yeah.
I would probably do something set in New York because I love the city that I live in. So I would definitely say something in New York.
Okay.
Um,
So like 80% of TV shows, got it.
great. Yep. I mean, maybe Friends. I feel like that's an obvious go-to.
Okay. That's
Maybe that's kind of an obvious choice though, right?
I mean, it's your choice. It is your choice, but Also, that's based New York.
It's
That's
based New York. Yeah. I mean, initially I was thinking like Sex in the City, but I was like, what would I play in that? Like um I never watched Gossip Girl. Um, what else did I see? Definitely not Handmaid's Tale.
I didn't see Handmaid's Tale.
Oh
I
gosh.
I haven't se
Definitely not that.
I've missed it. I that was huge some years ago. I don't know how I missed it, but I didn't see it.
Maybe did you see the morning show?
Um, I mean, like episodes, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple, but not.
Maybe that show, Doing What I Do, right? Like
Oh, oh,
maybe that could make
huh.
sense. That was a good answer.
You live where you where you worked?
Well, no,
Huh. Like where?
it's a good answer because
Yeah.
it's based in New York. It's contemporary. Obviously I'm not like the sexual predator in it, but like, yeah, maybe that
Hmm.
show. How
Hmm.
would you answer that question? I thought I gave a couple options. I said Friends, Sex and the City, or The Morning Show.
Yeah. It's pretty. No,
Are you
it's
gonna say SpongeBob?
good. No, 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 no. I'm having trouble actually myself. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to pick somewhere that's too close to reality. I don't want to pick base New York or base Chicago or any place that's kind of the same. I want to pick
Hmm.
something that's a little bit better. No shade to your answer. I'm just like if I'm gonna move realities, I want to upgrade.
Like you would
So,
do oh, I had one for you.
hmm,
What's the show that just finished and it won all the awards that I always forget the name of?
the bear is
No.
that what's called?
No, they just stopped. It was the rich family, the really rich
Oh, Schitt's
family.
Creek.
No.
They're not that
Um
rich actually in Schitt's Creek.
yeah, no. What was the really rich family? Macaulay Culkin's brother was in it.
Uh, I don't know.
Oh my God, hold on.
Okay. I like superhero stuff, but I don't know if I want to pick a show with that because that just equals danger.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't do that. I don't, I'm not picking Downton Abbey. That's too boring.
Succession. What about Succession?
Oh, Succession. I haven't watched Succession. I
Because
heard
they have a lot of
that
money.
wins a ton of awards like every year.
What did I
Succession.
say? Didn't I say the same thing?
Yeah, no, you said it. Succession.
Yeah, that's a good one. That could be
What's
really
that?
good.
What's that about again?
A rich family and divvying up the money and all that kind of stuff, but they all are very well off.
Hmm. Maybe. What about Suits? But
Wasn't a Suits guy, but okay.
I don't know if that's it. Oh, you know what about Scrubs? Well, I can't. I don't want to be a doctor. This is hard. This is actually a harder question than I thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say like you wouldn't do ER or Grey's Anatomy or
No, just because if I have to be a character and be a doctor, then I'm a doctor.
Fair.
I gotta pick something. Okay. I am picking. What's that new Lord of the Rings show that they have? Rings of Power? I haven't seen it yet.
Sure.
I
Yep.
heard it's good. I don't Dark Ages, it sucks. There's no soap. Uh dang it. Have you heard of okay, this is a mock answer. Have you heard of Real Husbands of Hollywood?
Yes.
Okay. I'll just pick that weird, elevated, hyper non-realistic show because it seems funny.
Okay. Good answer. Good
There it
answer.
is.
All right.
I'll stick with that one.
Okay.
All right, yeah. Huh. All right, cool. Yeah, last question, I swear. And now I made it the last one because everyone always asks this, but what is the best way to get into the entertainment business?
I think we touched on it a little bit in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. Make it as
Figuring
short,
out what,
as long as you
yeah,
want.
figure out
Yeah,
how you're different, and then really figure out your angle, right? So figure out, do you want to do radio? Do you want to do you want to work in TV? Do you want to be an actor, right? And then go from there and do your research, right? Like there is not enough attention focused on people doing their own research, right? So if you want to be an actor, what do you need to be an actor, right? Beyond classes, we know you're going to need a good headshot. We know you might need some footage of you acting. We're going to need to know where to find acting jobs, right? If you want to be in radio, how do you get on radio? Well, maybe start working at a radio station, at your local radio station, figuring out, how can I start? Maybe there's a promotions job opening for 10 bucks an hour or 15 bucks an hour, and I can go and support them. And on my off time, go into the studio and figure out how to work the board, right? This is actually real life experience because I actually did this. If you want to be a model, what does that look like being a model for you? Where can you envision yourself as a model? Where are the modeling jobs? Thinking about, do you want to be do you need an agent to be a model? If you're in a rural area, chances are there's not as many modeling jobs, but there's probably somebody who reps models in the local area. If you want to be a TV host, right? Like the best way about being a TV host is having people see you so they understand that you can be one. Can you do an interview, right? Can you read from a teleprompter? Is there footage of you out there? Where are TV host jobs? Who should you be meeting with? Like, these are the things that you need to ask yourself. The reason I came up with the brand that I did, it's called getyourbrandonTV.com. So just getyourbrandonTV.com, just to repeat it. The reason I did that, because I think so many small business owners were really frustrated, and I mentioned it before, on getting eyeballs at their business beyond social media. And TV provided and proved a great way with credibility for their business, so that when they got on some local show in their area, they could now say, oh, we've been seen on ABC St. Louis, right? Or NBC Denver, or CBS Dallas, right? And now there's some type of credential that was given to the brand, the small business, the person who maybe was on as a fashion expert or a lifestyle expert or something like that. And what I really wanted to do was make it super easy for someone to go to getyourbrandonTV.com and watch a video module and take notes and give them worksheets, and then give them contacts and say, here's people that you should be in touch with to go talk to about buying time on their shows. And within 2 weeks, you can be on these shows. So the entertainment industry is really challenging, but I think when you start to think about exactly what you want to do, um, think about how you would get there, and figure out, like, what does that timeline look like also. So if it's an actor, what are the necessary things you need as an actor to be great, right? You need a great reel, right? Footage of yourself. You need a great headshot. And so many people are going, well, I can't afford headshots, I can't afford a reel. Well, I'm pretty sure you have a cell phone, and everything's digital nowadays. When I first started in the business, I was an actor, and I had to go and get an actual headshot shoot and actual print my headshots, and then figure out how to attach a resume on the back of those headshots. Now everything's digital. There's a workaround for everything,
Yeah, you
right?
can
Oh, I
also
don't have an
figure it
agent.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't
not
have
to
an
be,
agent.
yeah, yeah.
It's okay. Well, you don't need an agent. There's jobs out there. There's websites out there that have castings on them that you can submit to directly. So, like, figuring out a way to get from point A to point B is really hard, but
Hmm.
don't stress yourself out. Sit behind a computer, do the research, sit on the phone and do the research. Look at what other people are doing, how they've gotten there. Maybe if they're close enough to you, ask them for support, ask them for help. I'm not too big on, like, asking people for free advice, because I don't think anyone should give so much free advice, but the people closest to you will. And figure out why you're different and why you can make a splash in the space that you're trying to go in.
Nice. Yeah. Very well said. Very well said. Cool. Yeah. And what was the name of the sorry, the website again? The book.
Yeah, so if you go to getyourbrandonTV.com, it's a video-based module course. You'll see me. I'm the one doing the classes. And in that course, beyond everything that I said you'll also get 3 real producers who are giving feedback on exactly what they're looking for and who they're looking for to put on TV.
Man. I mean, I hope everyone listening heard that. I mean, I for sure did. And yeah, Josh, thanks for being on. Uh,
Houston, this was awesome. Thank you.
yeah, I know you already said everything, you gave it all, but is there anything else you want to tell listeners personally, plug yourself, or just, anything you tell them in general?
Yeah, if you are looking to get into that TV space, or maybe you're a small business or want a person that wants to be a lifestyle expert or fashion expert or a person who just owns a small business and is looking to get a little more attention, if you go to getyourbrandonTV.com, you can download the course. Also, there's a way to contact me in there. If you're looking for some more one-on-one support in a way that can help you kind of handhold you and kind of take you through this experience and sort of get you the recognition that you need for your brand, you can message me directly and we can work together.
Man, that's awesome. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in to this episode of 1,000 Crazy Questions. Let me know by email, comments, whatever the media is, with your questions, with your feedback. Please rate the podcast. It helps a lot. Share this with your friends. Share this with your enemies. Everyone stay safe. All right. Bye. As always, follow my music producer D800, D-800 at BeatStars or SoundCloud.com.